going to bring the panel out. First up, we have executive producer and showrunner Jason Rothenberg. Next is Tasia Tellis, who plays Echo. We have Richard Harmon, who plays Murphy. Let's give him a hand. Next up, Eliza Taylor, who plays Clarke. Next is Marie Avgeropoulos, who plays Octavia. And a newcomer, Shannon Cook, who plays Jordan, who's adorable. We also have J.R. Bourne, who plays Russell. And finally, Sachin Sahil, who plays Jackson. So Jason, I feel like the thing I love about the show is that it reinvents itself every year, but this is kind of on a whole new level. Do you feel like this is kind of resetting the show?
Yeah, I mean, we call it Book 2 for a reason. It was really probably the hardest season for me personally to make. I mean, we had to essentially repilot it in the time that you would normally have to just start another season up. So if you think about it, you usually have you sell a pilot in August, you don't shoot it until March. We had, weeks to do this. So it is a starting over, a turning the page, with the people that we know and love.
But it must be like a fun new playground to create an entirely new planet.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's world building. There are a million things to be revealed. We don't even see JR in this show. JR is amazing this season.
Yeah,
I have to say, it's a little bit of a shame that he wasn't in the first episode, but we kind of, we're dipping our toe into the new world slowly.
Mm-hmm. We've seen him in the trailer, though, and he is a snazzy dresser, I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he is.
The man's a
Not just in the trailer.
Oh, in real life, too, obviously.
Yeah, that castle just holds my wardrobe. That's it.
How has it been sort of coming into this show, season 6?
It's been amazing. It's going to sound like I'm saying that everybody was so welcoming because that's the polite and the thing to say. Richard was an ass to me from the very beginning.
I do.
No, it was literally from day one just open arms and incredibly welcoming and loving, and I'm really, really lucky. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Eliza, we saw in this episode that Clarke has burned some bridges.
Yeah.
Last season. Is that going to be sort of her arc this year, trying to rebuild trust and get back to a good place with all the people who are very angry with her?
Yeah. It's so funny watching the first episode again and being like, wow, they were pissed. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of rebuilding to do. Trust must be given back to me at some point, and hopefully we achieve that.
Well, it looked like at least Bellamy's on her side a little bit.
Yeah, that is nice.
Marie, also, Octavia, burned more than bridges. She burns like an entire farm. And
she burns the house down.
So is she, at least in that episode, it didn't look like redemption was something she was too preoccupied with, but is that something that she's even thinking about this year?
She knows redemption needs to happen in order to heal her heart and a lot of relationships, but is that something she's willing to do? I guess the fans will have to find out. And Octavia did a lot of things in the bunker that were needed for survival, but she did have a lot of counterparts that assisted her in doing so. So she's not totally to blame. So I don't think she's really ready to let sleeping dogs lie at this point.
Well, also she needs to, the first step in forgiveness is sort of acknowledging your mistakes. And Octavia, as we start the season, hasn't done that yet. As we saw in the scene with Kane, which, my God, that is such a great scene. Both of you guys are so great in that scene.
Thanks.
And so step one will be sort of acknowledging what she did before we can get to redemption. Redemption is a long, long process for her.
It does take a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I personally want to see the Blake siblings get back to a good place because you just love them, even though they seem to hate each other right now. Is Bellamy, he seemed to have forgiven Clarke a little bit. Is he still a little angry with Octavia?
Yes, absolutely. Octavia threw Bellamy in the fighting pits, with an audience cheering them on. So
He did
redemption
try to
will
kill
be
you.
a long way from that, I think. Right, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, he did try to kill you, sort of, or poison you first, so.
Right, so
Had a
we've
reason.
kind of been doing it to each other. It's like brother-sister rivalry
On a next level.
to the max. Yeah.
Well, Shannon, I want to talk about Jordan because he's like this adorable ball of sunshine. We're all in love, obviously. How long can he hold on to that like joyous happiness in him? Because the show tends
That's
to
just
kill
how
the
he
joy.
is. No, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, well, how long can I guess? It's interesting coming into the ensemble because I think Jordan almost resembles a part of the humanity that they have still inside them, and coming to a new planet or a new moon. The heroes are coming to this new land, but there's a lot of baggage that they carry with them, and he's sort of trying to honor what his parents have left behind and the message to be good guys. But that's up for interpretation. What is your interpretation of that? And he obviously has a lot to prove to himself as a young man, and to his peers that he looks up to so much. But he also has to find his own voice because obviously he's naive and young, but he's obviously also been preparing to join the ranks of his heroes. And there'll be points where you'll wonder if he's the fool or it's like Shakespeare. Is he the fool or is he wise?
Mm-hmm. And Murphy's his favorite, right?
Murphy's his favorite. Yeah.
Join the club.
The theme for this year seems to be face your demons. Murphy obviously has quite a few of those.
Yeah, they hang out from time to time.
He's just done a few things here and there that
Once or twice.
are regrettable. What is that journey going to be like for him?
That's an interesting question. I think, without giving too much away, Jason.
Hop in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a constant kind of fight for him, even before the kind of face your demons thing. That's kind of been his life since coming to the ground, and probably before coming to the ground. So I think you'll probably see a lot more of the same, and that's just a constant battle for him. And there's a lot. There's so much I want to say, but I can't.
Murphy's story is one of my favorite this season.
This is my favorite Murphy season. I'll say that. This is my favorite Murphy season.
It's
And
the
not just
Murphy
because of
show.
the musical numbers.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun. Thank you for that, Jay.
And Echo is also one of my favorite characters. And I heard we might be getting a little bit of backstory on her this year.
Yes, we will. We'll finally get to see a little bit of her backstory. Yeah.
I'm very curious about her history with Asgida because she was this assassin, but she seemed to have turned over a new leaf. What does this new planet represent for her as sort of a new, fresh start?
What does it represent? I guess it represents finding a new beginning, starting a new life. I think it's interesting for her to be in a place now where she's off of the spaceship and she's back on land, but with a whole new group of people, with, everybody waking up out of cryo and stuff. But this new land isn't Earth. So where she might have been an amazing fighter and an amazing, Asgida ninja on Earth, this new... You think that's funny?
I like that.
This new planet, it's challenging her in different ways, so she can't quite get on top of it. So it's, challenging for her.
And Jason, this planet seems like it might be even more dangerous than Earth, which I never thought was possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of environmental dangers. I mean, we've seen the sun's eclipse and drives people crazy. I'm not sure how much I should talk about it because not that much has been revealed, obviously, yet. But whenever the suns come in alignment, the plants give off a toxin that drives everything on the planet insane. Homicidal. That's what you see happening there. Humans were never supposed to come to this planet. They would have probably never evolved. The lower life forms are really, as far as evolution would allow, because of this sort of vicious cycle on the planet. And then we know Aegis 3 arrives 200 some years ago, and this is what they've been sort of trying to figure out how to deal with since then. And our heroes come in blind, and we see what happens.
Would you say the planet is the big bad this year, or is there another big bad on the way?
Yeah, there's a lot of big bads. I mean, who's good and who's bad is always relative in the 100, and it's that is the case this year too. And clearly, planets are not conscious, so at least this one isn't. But it is definitely a challenge for them to figure out how to survive. There's a lot of things that they're going to come to realize quickly or die.
For all the sort of bad stuff that does seem to be happening on this planet, and for the most part, seems like there's like a happy little community that's settled here. Is there an opportunity for sort of like happiness and dancing and,
I think we saw some dancing in the trailer.
There's always the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JR?
Brad.
It's your planet.
Yeah. I'm listening very carefully to what everybody's saying. There's dancing.
Yeah.
There's definitely joy. My God, yes.
There's merriment.
Yes. I'm smiling in the trailer.
Drinking
and dancing. Yes.
So well dressed.
What's behind
Well
the
dressed.
smile?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be one hell of a ride. I think we all agree on that. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if fun is the word.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yes.
Fun. Okay. Yeah, it'll be super fun. People might say some other F words, and for the most part, it's going to be fun. Yeah.
I mean, I saw a lot of kissing in the trailer. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's the most kissing I've seen in a trailer for the 100 ever.
Yeah. We always like to have a little bit of a happy section in our trailers before it goes twisted and dark.
Then it's just 13 episodes of darkness.
I want to talk about Clarke and Maddie for a second, though, because she did a lot of sort of questionable stuff in the name of Maddie's safety last year.
Yes.
Obviously, that will probably continue to be a theme, protecting her daughter this year. What role does Clarke play as a mother on this new planet?
That's a good question. I mean, it's safe to say that I think she takes a bit of a step back from, being separated from her for the first little bit, as you saw. And there is a little bit of kind of letting Maddie go and not being so overprotective to the point of coddling her. I can say that, right?
Yeah, that was your arc last year up into the finale where you finally sort of let her go and lead one crew. So we pick up in the same place. You definitely separate from her. You've left her frozen, so she's fairly
where she's safe
at the moment. Yeah.
And this might be a Jason question, but she sort of embraced her role as commander last year. How in the world can that factor into this new society / living situation?
How in the world? It does factor in. It plays actually a fairly important role, the commander. But I'll leave it there. Yeah. There's a dark commander. I think we see him in the trailer, but I can't talk about him.
It's fun.
And speak of Kane as well, because he's now off of ice and back on ice.
Yeah.
Is that sort of a way of just being like a get out of die free card?
Yeah. Yes. Interesting way to put it, for sure. It's not the last we'll see of Ian. He's such a good actor. He obviously is in another show right now, so we had to come up with a creative way, and we did.
I will keep my fingers crossed for him in the future. Back to Octavia, because she was not on this little expedition down to the planet, which I feel like was a good choice in the actual let's not shoot first category, but that has to sort of upset her that she wasn't invited along on this nice little journey to a planet that's just ripe for the taking.
Yeah, it's like when you're not picked on your baseball team in high school and you're the last one. So I think when she got out of, she woke up and realized everybody left without her, that really broke her heart a lot, especially because, Bellamy left and Abby confirmed that. But I was just woken up from my blood and not for Octavia's heart. So that really, hit her in the heartstrings for sure.
Okay, do we have any fan questions?
Actually, Eliza and I have had one for Richard planned for about a year and a half that hasn't yet come to fruition.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to happen.
We have to.
And we have to do that.
I like
I think,
that one.
Yeah, it's happening.
I know
make sure
we
to
can't say what it is.
I know exactly what it is. I don't like it, and I don't want it
it's
to
happening,
happen.
Rich.
that's why it's going to be awesome.
Wait, you know what the prank is? And
Yeah, but he's
Frank
still
is-
scared of
He
it.
just
It's
doesn't
great.
know when it's.
They've come out like it's my greatest fear. It's my greatest fear.
It's like put the bomb in the trunk and show the audience and make them anticipate the explosion.
That's what we like to do.
We just don't know when.
I wanted to prank people, but I didn't want to ruffle any feathers. But I'm the kind of guy who will like wait outside the bathroom with a mask on. So I'll probably be coming for you guys in season 7.
Well, that's not weird.
It raises a lot of
Shannon, you're
eyebrows
fired.
and questions.
I mean, honestly, I think the preparation's probably the same as it always is. You get the scripts, we talk about it in advance, what's going to happen. In Eliza's case, we had quite a few very long conversations about what she has to do. Less so for everybody else, but you know, I imagine after 6 seasons, there's a routine in all of your work. You know, so
I've been hating myself for years.
What is that?
I've been hating myself.
I mean, this season, I think like what I did is I was just like, I will go as far as you guys push me, and you have to trust the director, and you know that they'll guide you and kind of nudge you along the path, and just do your best and rely on all your prep work and your understanding of the character and the script, and go for it.
I don't prepare at all.
Marie's one of the most prepared people on set, by the way. Her folder is just full of notes and scribblings and sticky things and
Yeah,
what do you call them?
sure.
Post-its?
Yes, Post-its.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe. That was sweet. But yeah, I try. I try to prepare, study hard, you know. Finished high school, yay!
I did not.
Last week?
Well, I mean, it was interesting coming in as Jordan because he looks up to everyone so much. So I just tried to learn as much about the show as I could. I stalked them on YouTube as much as I could. Try to learn about them as people and on the show.
Outside of the bathroom.
Well, it's the best time to get them because they're relaxed, right? They don't expect anything to happen. Like turn the lights off and there you are. Anyway, I know. But yeah, and then now I forgot what was the question. Yeah, so how did we prepare? How did I prepare? I mean, it's interesting for him too because I guess he's trying to find his voice, but there's the echo of the voices of what he feels that he should be doing for his team and then also for his parents. But it was a great exploration in humanity and getting to experience things for the first time. It's a real gift as an actor and as a person, a grown man. I guess it's interesting to go back to those places. Yeah, I just can't wait for you guys to see what's coming up for everyone.
Shannon?
Well, I mean, I guess part of my real self and part of Jordan leaked into one because I really admired the actors on the show a lot.
We bullied you.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so yeah, because I admired them so much, and as Jordan, it's easy. I just felt I'm getting flustered over here. JR?
Like I said, it sounds like we're just saying because we're in front of everybody that it was such an amazing cast and crew to come into, but they genuinely were and are, and it can be very intimidating, and I was very intimidated coming, because I know what it's like to be on a show for that long, and you just function as one. You start to be, but
You were seamless.
They were both amazing. It was almost like you guys have been with us the whole time.
I was just
Yeah.
It
thinking
really
that, I
felt.
think.
It really was a seamless, smooth transition.
and it genuinely felt like that as well from day one.
Like you saw Shannon in that first episode, and then when you get introduced to JR, you're going to see again. This season is so different because it actually feels like a different book. It feels like a completely different show, and then you have these people come in that seamlessly help build that new world. And I can't wait for you to get to see more of these guys because they nailed it out the park.
Yeah, they
It's
really
special
did.
special
They
season.
really did.
Well, that seems like a great note to end it on. Thank you guys so much for coming and doing this.